I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall.
From the far corners of the outback they came, and from airfields big and small around the nation, to pay tribute to one of the last pioneers of Australian aviation. Nancy Bird Walton would have been astounded by the turnout. She was always matter-of-fact about her achievements.
I don't know why I get the publicity. Perhaps my greatest achievement is that I've been a survivor.
But today's state funeral confirmed her place in Australian history.
It was amazing because she had to defy convention and have a go. Nancy put herself out there and really just followed her passion.
She was a very courageous little lady and faced impossible odds of flying over country where you couldn't possibly land.
I think in those days that perhaps they built them a bit tougher, the women, I'm not sure, but she would have to have been pretty damn tough.
Nancy Bird was fascinated with aeroplanes from childhood, as daring aviators led by Charles Kingsford-Smith began to conquer the boundaries of flight in the years after the First World War.
When I was young, I did imagine I could fly. Also on the swing, I'd say, "Push me higher, Mr. Wade, push me higher. I'm a bird, I want to fly." At 4 years of age, climbing the back fence and jumping off and calling myself an epiplane.
She worked in her father's general store in a village on the north coast of New South Wales and saved up enough money to take her first flight at the age of 13. Aviation was to dominate her life from then on.
When Charles Kingsford-Smith opened his flying school at Mascot, I was one of the first, if not the first, to sign up for flying lessons.
At 19, Nancy Bird had a commercial pilot's licence, the first to be granted to a woman in Australia.
Had pre-flight checklist oxygen.
Pilots of today look back in awe at such a feat. Naomi Radke and Emma Youngman fly for Virgin Airlines.
She wasn't even supposed to be wearing trousers, and there she is sort of turning up at what is now Kingsford-Smith Airport in heavy trousers and dressed like a man. So initially, from the outset, that would have raised some eyebrows.
She was a woman that was there that nobody was supporting. I don't think she got a lot of support from people saying, yeah, that's a great idea to go and do that.
To try to pay her way, Nancy Bird embarked on a barnstorming tour of country New South Wales, trading on her novelty as a female pilot.
That did add to the fascination and curiosity of people, but it also added to people's trepidation because she was such a small slip of a girl. How was she going to control the plane?
Would anybody care to come up with me? It's only 10 shillings a ticket. Come on, who'll come up with me?
Maybe me mate Stan will have a go.
Stan, yes, come on, Stan.
And you could get people to the stage where they'd even dare one another to fly with one of those girls, you know. And he'd say, I won't go up myself, but I'll pay for my friend and bring him down green, won't you?
It was while Nancy Bird was on her barnstorming tour that she was asked if she would go to the outback to fly for a special health service aimed at addressing the high infant mortality rate. It was a revolutionary idea, predating the Royal Flying Doctor Service.
They call her the angel of the outback in that country. She flew trained nurses into these communities and brought along the baby scales and some dietary advice and medical advice to mothers, and they reared those children.
Well, there's no street signs or no GPS as we have these days, and Nancy was navigating with a ruler and a pencil and using a shell road map.
She wouldn't have had any radio aid. She wouldn't have had any idea of how to get from A to B. If she hit a sandstorm, she'd probably have to land and sit it out.
One of the things that came into one's mind was the fear of being lost and never being found. You would have perished before you would have been found in the summertime in that country.
Nancy Bird conducted charter work between the medical flights, driving a hard bargain with her school ruler, as a former Mayor of Burke, Wally Mitchell, recalls.
So she could run the old ruler across the map and say, yes, shilling a mile, and there it is. It's 7 inches out to Eurocino. That's 14 quid.
But there was no fortune to be made in the outback. It was all for the love of flying. And long after Nancy Bird left, the tales of gratitude for her medical flights followed her.
A man came up to me and said, you know, you saved my life. I said, what did I do? He said, I was a premature baby and you flew the doctor and the equipment out.
Much was still to come for Nancy Bird. Marriage to Charles Walton and the birth of 2 children. But aviation was never far away. She started the Australian Women's Pilots Association, whose members turned out in pink and pearls for her funeral today at her request, inspiring another generation of female aviators.
She's shown that anything's possible. Anything's possible in this world.
And you know, it doesn't matter how black the sky is or how bad the storm clouds may be, the sun's always shining up top.